Hi, hello, welcome to Ekas Cloud. After a long time, I came back with our Windows Server topic. And first of all, I have to say sorry for all of you for because so many of you waiting for this video and for this class, and many of students are keep on asking when you are giving next class, next class. This is here. Now we are in. So thank you first of all, and once again because you are waiting for a long time. Okay, as till this what we have covered so far, we understood Active Directory not in detail and little bit detailed because we have not even gone through that in depth of Active Directory. Definitely we are going inside the Active Directory. We see left and right, top, bottom, and we know how to install Active Directory, how to configure Active Directory, and we understood a DNS, how DNS works and how to configure DNS, how a primary zone, secondary zone, stub zone, and other features of DNS. And we also understood how DHCP works. What is DHCP, what is scope, and what is DORA process. And if you look at that our previous class, if you are watching this video for the first time, please go back and watch our all the classes previous classes, so that you will understand this class, so that you will have some impact of this class. If you are well known to Active Directory, a DNS, DHCP, then you are right person to see this video. And we have understood something called integration DNS DHCP with Active Directory. DNS will do some different job, right? What DNS will do? DNS resolves name to IP. DHCP will do giving IP addresses to computers, not only computers, for any device in the network which can be participate in the network. IP address distribution over the dynamic network, over the network dynamically. These two services can be controlled by Active Directory, which means integrated. We can integrate. This is what we have understood so far in previous classes. Today is a very interesting and important topic called IPAM. IPAM in short form is known as IPAM. If I expand it as a full form, IP address management. IP address management. What is IP address management? What do you think? See, the name itself says it is something called going to manage IP address. Managing IP address. What is managing IP address? It is not going to provide IP address manually and have a pen paper, write all the IP addresses in a pen paper, go and assign IP addresses manually to each and every computer. That DHCP will do. So to understand better IPAM concept, we have to go in different way. So let me bring a scenario where you can understand what is IP address management very clearly. I'll tell you something here. If you want to understand any technology or any service which is there in anywhere, you have to understand the problem before understanding the technology. We have to understand the problem before understanding the service. IPAM is a service. IPAM is a service. I will give the definition. You will understand in few minutes. But before understanding IPAM, let me bring a scenario where you can use IPAM. Imagine you have these companies like head office, branch office, and branch office make in a different regions. So I always prefer to use these kind of architecture which help you to understand, to have a better visibility and better understanding of the concept. So here we have 4 branches. Imagine you have one branch in India, this is India branch office, and this is UK branch office, and let's say this is US branch office, and this is UAE branch office. Now, let me bring one character here. I take little bit time to draw this topology. Please uh, keep watching this. Don't miss anything here, which is very useful. This is story building topic, story building. I'm going to explain you a problem so that you will have better visibility on the problem and clarity on the problem. So now we are it's you. Take it, it's you. You are the one here. You are the one who working in this company. So what you have in this company? Let's bring some servers here. This is a server icon. I have this server. Let's take this is one server in your head office, which is in India company. You have UK server. Don't ask what server it is, I will tell you in few seconds. You have a server. All these servers are there. What services are running in this server? You have running with Active Directory, DNS and DHCP. You are running all these services in that server. Don't ask me why all these services are running in this service, in that server. Simple, one server. You may run all services in one server, or you may run in different servers also. It's not a problem, because the lab which I am going to show you today, it should be have like this one server running with all services. So one computer running with Active Directory, DNS, DHCP. Is it possible? Yes, possible. Do you want to see what servers, how this has been working? If you go here, see, I have one computer running with Active Directory, DNS, DHCP. All three services are running here. If you click on DHCP, you will see DHCP service running on server 1. You click on ADDS, service running on server 1, and DNS same. All three services are running in the same server. You may run these three services in different server. Ultimately you have to run DNS in the Active Directory itself. Why? Because you cannot run DNS in a different computer, Active Directory in different computer. It is not possible. It may possible, but you have to do lot of configuration. If I go into it, it has a separate story. I didn't come here to explain a DNS and DHCP or AD in the same server or different server. Not. I just wanted to show you and wanted to confirm you, so that we all our services in running in the same computer. Imagine you are the one who is going to manage all these servers from India office. Tell me how you are going to manage. If you tell these answers. 1. You take remote desktop of all these computers, right? Ultimately you take remote desktop. For taking remote desktop, you have some challenges. You have to make sure all these branch office are connected to head office via secure connection, right? You should have security connection. You have to have some security via leased line connections or any other VPN connections. Imagine you have some connections between all these offices. It is not a question how these offices connected. It is not a concept what technology they are using for connecting all these branches. It's a concept how you are going to manage these servers. We are not in the networking area. You have to remember this. It is not at all a networking concept. It is all about server concept. Either the server should be in local or it could be in different location. Understand? Remember, don't forget, we are in Windows Server environment. all these servers are running with Windows Server. You are the one who is going to manage all these servers. The first choice you have is RDP, take remote desktop connections. You take remote desktop connections and create DNS zone and create DHCP scopes and manage it and assign reservation whatever you want. You may ask, do we have any administrators in this office? No, you don't have any administrator, so that you can ask them to do that. You are the only one who is going to take care of all these branches. Okay. If you have any questions, you can post your questions in the comment section so that I will respond your answers. Now, what other option you have? What other option? No other option. You take UK visa, India passport, go to airport, go to UK and configure UK server, configure US server, UAE server. It is difficult. This no company will do like that for configuration sending. Configuration for configuration of few things sending UK, US, UAE. Now see, instead of taking remote desktop, instead of going to that location, server location and configuration of server, you can still manage all these multiple DHCP DNS servers from your location. You understand what I'm trying to say? You can still manage all these servers from your existing location. Doesn't matter where you are. The matters what computer you have, what server you have in your hand. I'm going to bring one server in your located environment. That server got a power. That server got a power to manage all these DNS DHCP servers. What is that server? That server called IPAM server. That is IPAM server. What is IPAM server here? Now you have to understand what is IPAM. So we are in the situation to understand what is IPAM. Let's go have a IPAM definition here. If you see IPAM, the full form is IP address management that I have told you before. IPAM is an integrated suite. What does it mean? It's a integrated suite. Tools to enable end-to-end planning, deploying, managing and monitoring of your IP address infrastructure. So IPAM, what they are trying to say, IPAM is a integrated tools. In IPAM you have lot of tools which is integrated with IPAM. The tools can be managed your IP address infrastructure. IP address infrastructure, what? DHCPs. You can manage a complete building IP address infrastructure. This US building branch office managed by whom? This DHCP server. This DHCP server is going to give IP addresses to the clients which is present in this building. The DHCP can be managed by IPAM, which means you are ultimately going to manage the IP address infrastructure of this US, UK and UAE building. So IPAM is to end-to-end plan. You can plan what computers you have, what scope you can keep, what is the reserved IP address, how much the usage of IP address. Everything can be designed. All is possible to design by using IPAM server. So if you go back to the definition again, IPAM, end-to-end planning, deploying and managing and monitoring of your IP address infrastructure. IPAM automatically discovers IP address infrastructure servers on your network and enables you to manage from the central interface. That's one thing, central interface. What is central interface? The central interface is a place where you sitting on one computer and doing all the activities, which is centralized IP address management system. I can tell you in one line instead of few lines. IPAM is a centralized management system for all your IP address infrastructures which is there in the different location. If you have any queries, you can post your comments in the comment section. Now, what advantages we have, what benefits, what are the features of IPAM? If you see the features of IPAM, you have few features here. IPAM can discover means to find. IPAM, when you bring IPAM, it discovers automatically ADDS, DNS, DHCP, and it monitors your DHCP and DNS. What monitors it is? It monitors how many, what zones we have created, what zones we have, what scope we have in DHCP server, how much usage of the scope, and everything can be monitored. And it's completely management of a DNS and DHCP servers. IP address space can be tracked and the trace of the IP address usage. And audit means what? Imagine somebody has created some scope here. If you want to track that scope, if you want to track the scope so that you can use the track for when the created, what is the scope range, who configured this, everything can be tracked by IPAM. So IPAM can discover, can manage, can monitor, can track, can check and audit. All these facilities is there with the IPAM. IPAM is a new feature of Windows Server 2012 computer, 2012 operating system. This operating system will help you, this IPAM will help you to manage all this. That IPAM will be available in Windows Server 2012. And what other advantages you have? You have some advantages here. Monitor IP address usage by location, I told you right already. And we have, and you can take a note point of all this. So what this each point says, you can monitor IP address usage by location, DHCP service on the health and availability, find and assign an IP address to the new device, manage DHCP options across multiple scope and servers, track usage. This is what we all discussed right in a little bit before. So let's go into demo session where we can implement how to configure and implement this. What should I do here? I have to go to a few conditions here before implementing this IPAM, before installation and configuration of IPAM. We have to have one kind thing is IPAM server configuration. The IPAM should be a member of domain. That's the first condition. IPAM should be a member of domain. The second condition is IPAM should log in as domain admin. IPAM should log in as domain admin. IPAM should have Windows Server 2012 R2OS, and you cannot make this server act as a IPAM server, which means the Active Directory and DNS DHCP server cannot become IPAM server. IPAM server should have a separate computer installed in a separate hardware or virtual machine or physical machine. So let's go to C1. C1 is a computer which I have installed Active Directory, DNS and DHCP. Let me check and make you confirm. If you go to Active Directory users and computers, so just understand we have acastcloud.com. In that acastcloud.com we don't have any users, we don't want any users. If you go to domain controller, that is server 1, that server 1 contain Active Directory running and DNS. You know very well Active Directory DNS should be present in the same computer, and all these DNS records are get created. If you go to DHCP, you will see one DHCP server console where you have scopes and IP address pool, where you can see some set of range of IP addresses, but you don't know when these range created. Okay, I didn't tell anything here right now, we will discuss later, but I just wanted to confirm these, the scope has been created by me only just before. Now what I wanted to show, I want to install IPAM and configuration of IPAM. Listen this, we are in the different computer where I have already made this computer is a member of domain and I logged in as a domain user. How do you confirm whether who logs in here? How you will get some confirmation? By go to command prompt. In command prompt I always change this command font so that you will have a better visibility. It's little bit slow. I always use this color. Say if you want to know who logged in, you say you just who am I. This command says who logs in, who you are. This user logged in. This is Akash Cloud Administrator. Now this is, we are in the situation to go and install IPAM. Now I open Server Manager. Make sure you have Windows Server 2012. This should be a member of domain. Login as domain admin. After this we go to Server Manager, we go through this and we installed, sorry, we need not to install DHCP, DNS, anything here. We have to search for IPAM. Search for IPAM. Where is IPAM? IPAM. There is no IPAM. File and services. Expand it. All features. We have iSCSI. But we don't have IPAM because, why? Because did you confirm this is server Windows Server 2012 R2? Yes, it is 12 R2. Why it is not there? Why it is not there means it is not there in roles. It will be there in features. IPAM is an additional feature. It's not a major feature. If you search in this list, you will find IP address management here. This is IPAM. If you read it, you will understand very clearly. I don't want to read. You have to read. I give check mark. I said already IPAM is a integrated suite of tools. It's a tools. You have lot of things to have here. Just click add features, next, and further install. This way you can install IPAM. So it takes a couple of minutes to install IPAM. Meanwhile, I just wanted to share something about our company. See, if you are working in a Windows environment, if you are working in a networking environment, if you are working in any IT environment, nowadays cloud is a mandatory knowledge. What do you say? Will you accept this? Is it cloud is mandatory or optional? Yes, it is mandatory. Few years back it was optional. You may have knowledge or not. And say cloud is mandatory knowledge. If you are belongs to any one technology, then in for your future growth you must learn cloud. See, we have lot of online portals, online training institutes and physical institutes in many where. So why you have to come with us? We are Akash Cloud. We started uh, training, cloud computing training, and so many students are already be with us. We started. Uh, why you have to study with us? Just imagine when you join any online course or physical direct location course, by attending that course you will not be able to go to exam directly. because you have to do lot of hard work. However, in our course also you have to do lot of hard work, but many students are very intelligent, they know how to do hard work, which means they know what to study, how to study, and where to study, all this. But there are few students who don't even have any knowledge of how to study. There is a procedure, no, how to study, how to practice, how to prepare for interview, how to prepare for exam, how to prepare for real time work project, how to prepare for everything. So we have lot of angles. The interview preparation knowledge will not work in real world. Real world knowledge will not work in interview. Interview preparation knowledge will not work in exams. You have so many tricky questions. You have to find the trick, how you have to understand what they are actually using that word. So you have to understand all this, so that what we have to do is we have to learn from the basics. We have to learn from the basics and come up to the next level. So what we started training is, we started providing one-to-one training, one trainer, one student. So you learn everything from basics, and we will have some, we give homework, we give task, we give you have to create videos, and you have a lot of tasks here. So I just wanted to share this. If you want to know more, you just go to Akas Cloud website, so that you will learn at least who we are, what we are. Let's see, back, it is still going on. It is in that end stage. See, this is the stage 1, which means installation of IPAM server. Installation of IPAM. And configuration IPAM is a different way. Configuration. We have to install first, configuration next. How to install? Yeah, there is a way. You can install in 2016 also. You can install in any computer. It's not a problem. Yes, successful. Now it is installed. Now close. How to configure IPAM? The configuration is a very big deal. Configuration of IPAM. How to configuration, and it is also a very lengthy practice. For configuration of IPAM is a very lengthy concept. It has around so many steps are here. How to configure IPAM? How to use this IPAM to configure other computers? We have to wait. There should be a console here. It should come automatically. Configuration of IPAM. Once it is installed, it should come up. Yes, see here. You can see IPAM here. IPAM. If you click IPAM, we have some complex topics here. Complexity. Connect to IPAM server, provision IPAM server, configure server discovery, start server discovery, select or add servers to manage by IPAM, retrieve data from managed servers. So this is a process. These are the steps, and we have to have some little bit topic of a group policy and PowerShell. Let's go connect IPAM server here. Click on IPAM server. It is showing server 2. We have to, however, it is already connected. So it is already connected. Just consider this is one step number 1. This is connecting IPAM server. So what I have to do after this connecting IPAM server, you have to uh, create, you have to provision IPAM server. How to provision IPAM server, how to configure the other part of this IPAM server, we have to click on it. It's taking time. Meanwhile, I got one comment from Mr. Arun Kumar. Cloud certification is there, sir. Yes, we have cloud certification. Actually, we provide one digital certificate, but you ultimately you have to go with a, global certification. That's a valid certification. You ultimately you have to write an exam. Yes, so here this came up, IPAM server. We have to go next. For configuration of IPAM server, what IPAM do? IPAM will collect the data, whatever server data is there, will collect and stores data in your environment, which means what I'm trying to say here, if you look at this, it's a little bit slow. So IPAM is collecting all the data from DHCP, DNS. It's collecting all the data, keep data into its local storage. Okay, so if the IPAM is collecting data and storing in the local storage, that is called Windows Internal Database, WID. That could be in a C partition, Windows folder, System32 folder, some path. If you want to see the path, you can see the path in that description. But what you can choose is, if this computer using local storage to store all the collected information, at one point of this C partition will get huge amount of data. It may impact to your operating system. May operating system go slow. Based on operating system, other services in the server will go slow. To avoid these problems, what you can do is, you have a choice of having SQL server, SQL server. You can keep one different or separate SQL server where you can connect this IPAM server to SQL server. All the collected data will be stored in the SQL server, not in the IPAM server. It is a choice we have which you can use it. But right now I don't want any that kind of servers. If I go that way, no. So I have to teach you what is SQL server and how to configure it. That is optional knowledge for this. So if you have SQL server, you can put SQL server and database name and port number of the Microsoft SQL server. Let me go with internal database. See, for our lab it's okay. For our lab, what we are doing lab, no, that's okay, fine. But for any real environment where you have multiple things to manage, then you have to have separate server. Let's go. Group policy provision and manual provision. What is manual provision? See, this is quite uh, a different topic, or what to say, I don't know. I have to explain here. See, listen boss, carefully. These computers, okay, understand carefully. These computers are managed by whom? This computer, right? See, these computers are managed by this computer, so you have some privilege. You have to give some privilege to this computer so that it can manage. So this computer should know he is going to manage by this computer. So imagine this is a person, he should know he has to obey the instructions and whatever things has to update, it has to be updated to IPAM server. So these computers are going to manage by this computer. You have to know, and you have to tell this computer you are going to manage this, and you have to tell all these computers are going to manage this. How do you tell? Do you go and configure manually? If you go with manually, you have to go in this computer, open firewall, create some rules, open group policy, and change group policy settings so that this is the IPAM server. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you have to go each and every computer, boss, this is your IPAM server, this is your IPAM server, this is your. It is not possible to go in each and every computer. Again, you are going to head and branch office, right? So instead of going all that, what we can do, we have a very powerful weapon. See, I'm using weapon word. Why? Because the weapon is GPO. We will have one class, not one class, many classes about GPO, group policy object, local group policy, domain group policy. We will understand in future classes. Just wait. I will bring all the topics in this series. No worries. So the powerful weapon will going to put one policy. I will apply the policy to the domain. That policy will update to all computers. He is our IPAM server in the domain. Whatever computer will come later as a DSCP and DNS server, that computer also come to know he is our IPAM server. You understand what I am trying to say? So this is how to configure IPAM. Let's go once again. We go back to that computer. We go to C2. Just changing this. However, I have to change this resolution so that I have written one. So group policy based. Just pause this video and read this video. You will understand little bit. If you don't understand, simply go next. That's all. What to do? So let's say IPAM policy. Just put some name. You are going to create one policy that is called IPAM policy, and click next and click apply. What happening? It's creating a policy. It's creating a policy. Meanwhile, I got one question from same Mr. Arun Kumar. If the IPAM server down, what will happen? Nothing will happen. No worry. Why? Because IPAM is not going to contain all the database in one place. Okay, IPAM is just maintaining the report of the service report, and it maintaining the tools. That's all. If IPAM down, the only problem you face, you cannot control computers, DSCP, DNS servers over the network. That's all. Still that you can go locally and configure servers. Nothing will happen. IPAM goes down. It's how can I tell this in a best way, in the super way. Imagine you have AC. Imagine you have AC in your home. AC1, AC2, AC3, AC4, air conditioner. You have these ACs, okay? Unfortunately or fortunately, you purchase all these ACs with a same model, so that you may have some same model remote, and you are controlling this ACs, the temperature and the swing, everything by using remote. Okay, and this is control. This is called centralized management. And we have a question called what if remote fails? Will AC stop working? Still AC work, right? Still AC will have manual button where you can put on and off, but you will get a loss of remote control. That's all. You don't have central interface, you have manual interface. Same, you can go and each and every computer configure IPAM loss, central interface loss, central management loss, central easy administration loss. That's all. But still you can go on each and every server and configure. Nothing will loss here. I hope you understood this. Let's go back to see what happened to that IPAM. Yeah, it's provisioned. That's great. I have to make it once again big screen. So it is okay. Let's close. See here. That's a beauty of IPAM. Server inventory, address space, IP blocks, inventory, range groups, and DHCP servers, DHCP scopes. But we are still in the second stage only, not in the um, first stage. Okay. Where we have to go here, I think this is one local server. Where is IPAM, yeah. So we provisioned. Before going to discovery, I have to go to server 1 tab and click on server 1. You have to go to server 1. Who is server 1? Server 1 is a computer which holding Active Directory. I will log in to the server 1. This is a mandatory step you have to do. If you are doing this as a lab, be careful. Go to computer, go to properties, make this computer is a member of domain admins. Make this computer is a member of domain admins. In sometimes we may not understand in a single step, so that you have to pause this video, come back and see this video again what I am doing. Why we are making IPAM powerful? Just before I mentioned, IPAM should have power to control all these computers, right? So you must make that computer is a member of domain admin, so that this computer will have control of all other computers. Understand, right? And what else? Nothing else. That's all. You have to make the power. And we go back to server 2, and you have to run one command here using PowerShell. You have to use PowerShell command. What PowerShell command it is? This is invoke GPO for IPAM. We are going to whatever policy we created in the second step, that policy is going to apply to all computers in the domain. We have invoke IPAM GPO provisioning hyphen in which domain. Akas Cloud domain. What is a prefix name? IPAM policy. Then what is a fully qualified domain name of the server? Say server 2. So I should know server 2, which means that is what our computer name, right? Server 2 is a IPAM server, and acascloud.com. These are fully qualified. See boss, invoke. I'm triggering. In which domain? Acas Cloud domain. For what? In IPAM policy. We have created IPAM policy in the previous step. What this policy contains? This policy contains lot of settings related to IPAM, and these policy settings is going to apply to entire domain says who is IPAM server. Imagine if any country a president got selected, or any country PM got selected, flash news will come, right? In news heading, this sir has got elected, whatever it is, like we are preparing a flash news. Who is media here? Media is a group policy. I told you that's a weapon. So once you type this command, press enter. It take couple of seconds to execute this policy. Once it is done, say invoke GPO provisioning command let creates a link 3 group policies objects. I have read it many times. I understood it. You also read this many times until you understand. Please read it. I just put Y and press enter. That's all my job. These policies will get linked with the acascloud.com domain, and that domain came to know this is IPAM server, and all other servers will understand who is IPAM server. This is some critical step. If you don't understand, repeat this video for just few minutes, for last 5 minutes, so that you will understand many more things. Once I close this, where I did this opening PowerShell in the same computer where IPAM is installed. Make sure that. Now I go back once again. This time click configure server discovery. I have to add server discovery. I'm just selecting IPAM server. Hello boss, go and search. Go and search. In which domain? Which domain? Acas Cloud domain. We have only root domain. Remember guys, root domain. I will come with so many topics regarding root domain controller, additional domain controller, child domain controller, tree domain controller. Many topics are there. Let's click add. I'm asking IPAM, go search acascloud.com is a scope. In that scope, search how many domain controllers, how many DHCP servers, how many DNS servers. All this is going to search by IPAM server, and click. When the next search, today is March, today is 7th March, and tomorrow is going to be next schedule update. So I selected one domain because we have only one domain. We don't have many domains. Selected one domain, selected, and start server discovery. Now IPAM doing its job. IPAM is going searching how you people search for anything in Google. Like IPAM is discovering. IPAM is shouting in the domain, hello boss, who is ADDS? Come to me. Who is DNS servers? Let me know. Who are running with DHCP servers? Come out. All these are going on. So much things are going on. We have to wait for this. I'm not pausing this video, but it will work. Let's see. Yeah, that is what I'm telling, that if you are interested to learn cloud, because cloud is going to be future. Cloud is going to be future. I was telling this line in 3-4 years or 5 years back. Cloud is going to be future. Future. The future is now. We have to learn cloud. After 5 years, cloud is going to be in history. Cloud will be in history, which means how hardware, there is a course called hardware A plus N plus. Now it is no more hardware A plus N plus courses. Similarly, when new technology comes, the old technology will become basics, and it will become outdated, and still sometimes it will be in basic and fundamental part. Like in another few years, cloud will become very basic part. Cloud will become is a part of every life. So if you are a IT guy, even though if you are non-IT guy, and join with us to build a community, we are making qualified people in IT industry. It's happening. Yes, it is ready now. It says next data collection will be in the next. Okay, and we did it. Starts our discovery. Select or add to manage and verify servers, which means, see, if you say here server 1 has showing something here called block, which means IPAM found that there is a server which is running with server 1, which is running with the DC and DNS DHCP server. Okay, and we have to specify whether it should be a managed server or what. It should be managed server, no? So I have to go and manually check and ask IPAM server, guys, you have to go You should be a managed server so that we can manage it. Some of you will go and check, sir, what is this NPS? If you want to know NPS, you have to know NPAS. If you want to know NPAS, you have to know RRAS. If you want to know RRAS, you have to know routing, NATing, some basic networking. Do you want it? Don't want it, right? Leave it. We will see later. It's a pure networking chapter. Network policy server. We don't want to touch anything here. I just make sure whether it should be in a unblocked state, but it should be in a green state. Let me do some tinkering. I remove DHCP server and make sure yes. So now it came up with a green mark. It should come up with a green mark, but for DHCP it takes little bit time. Being silent, you should do something, right? So that I'm doing like this: check, uncheck, check, uncheck, so that it may work, but it may take minimum 8 to 9 minutes to work. But meanwhile, let's go here, DNS and DHCP servers. However, it will show DNS is working here. You can see the DHCP scopes here, but DHCP had to come. It's collecting all that information. It's a zone monitoring. We have to refresh to know. Unclick here to DNS monitoring. If you see here DNS, you can see event log. Hello boss, where we are? We are in IPAM server, boss. We are in IPAM server. We are in IPAM server. We are understanding DNS logs. We don't have any DNS logs, and we can see DNS zones and DNS everything. If you want to manage DNS, select this, right click and launch MMC. When you click launch MMC, it will automatically bring DNS console. Once again, where we are in IPAM server. Which server we are connected? Server 1. What do you want? You want to create a new zone, create it. Right click, new zone, next, type success.com, because we got successful result. That's why success.com. Give next and put finish. By this way you get the successful. What you can do, let's go to C1 computer. We are in C1 here. We are in C1 here. I have to go to DNS and refresh. You will see that result immediately. Success.com came. How this came? It is came by the server, IPAM server. Okay, understand? Now you go back to this. Once again you go to overview and server inventory. It should not be like this here. It should be uncheck, do some activity, so that it make it green with the DHCP. I have to show only one result. Creating scope by using IPAM. Still 8 minutes not there. Still it is in block state. It should be edit and uncheck, give check. If you are configuring the same thing, you can do this also. What's happening? Fail to update. The server got tungsten. It's asking why you are doing like this, and finally it got worked here. See here, right click, see properties, working now. It may happen to same to you. If it is not happening, do it second time. Not happening for second time, do it third time. If it is not happening, do until it happens. Scope. You should see some scope here. Why it is not going? Okay, I understood now. See, after all this, you have to click on retrieve data from managed servers. This is the last step. This is the last step. Now 6 tasks are going on. Now the the IPAM server is contacting to the DNS and DHCP server, collecting everything. It is like how in movies, how the rowdy people will collect money from poor people. Similarly, our IPAM rowdy will go and collect all the monitoring, configuration, audit, availability, utilization, and expiries of everything will be collected by IPAM server in all servers. How IPAM got this privilege collecting everything from all that servers? Because we made IPAM is a member of domain group, and we run that policy that is he is the IPAM server, so that he will collect anything. I hope you understood this. If you well understood, you can like this video, and you can share this video to other IT guys who need to know IPAM, because some questions will ask what is IPAM. You answer these questions: what is IPAM, how to install IPAM and configure IPAM, what IPAM can do, what happen if IPAM down, in which scenario you can use IPAM. But no companies will use IPAM in a small environment. For a big environment, IPAM will be the best powerful tool. But a lot of tools are there, and SolarWinds are there to manage network management and monitoring. It is a kind of management and monitoring tool. It's a kind of management and monitoring tool of IP address. That's why IPAM is a good topic. But why we are learning here? We have to know about Windows Server now. I can take the same topic in Windows Server 19 also. But what's the point of taking in Server 19 chumma doing the same activities? Even though I took Server 19, I do the same. That's why I took Windows Server 12 R2, because my laptop configuration little bit low. It has only 16 GB RAM. That's why I'm doing this. What else? It's going on. So as I will continue once again, cloud is the current situation. If you are eligible, if you are working, if you still don't know about cloud, if you are still watching the same video, you are thinking that okay, this knowledge is enough. Boss, this knowledge is enough for another 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, but this knowledge is not enough for a long term. If you want to play game with IT industry for a long term, you have to change your platform. You cannot go thousands of miles with this small thing, right? You have to change. You can go here, but it will take so much time, right? You have a small vehicle. Windows Server knowledge is a small vehicle. You cannot travel to long distance. No? You have to change the vehicle to go fast, to earn more. So be a qualified IT person in the IT industry, not like Dabba guys. So being managers, being IT team leaders, they don't know anything. I saw with my experience. Don't be like that. Even though if you are a manager, if you are watching this video, don't feel bad, because that environment makes you that kind of situation, that kind of knowledge. But still we have to keep on learning here. There is no way, especially in IT industry, we have to keep on learning with new technologies. So much technologies are involving in our lives, so we have to, our life is a part of our technology. Yeah, it's over. So everything is done. So what I have to do? One task, only one task. I thought it takes more time, but it's going fast. That's better, right? Yes, great, yeah. It's going. Still, it's going. Yes. So be a part of cloud. Be a part of Akash Cloud. Hmm. And continue watching our videos. You can search YouTube channel, Huzefa YouTube channel. All these classes are present in that YouTube channel and many other Linux administration and Python newly started. And we have Akash Cloud YouTube channel where you can find many short videos like 1 minute, 2 minute video. How some TikTok videos will make you impress at the time of watching that video. This some videos will make you master in the next feature. Some videos will give impact at the time of watching. Some videos will make you change in future. These videos in kind it's a second category. It may seems bore, it may seems not worthy, but after few months or few years, this is going to will help you to change your career. If you grow, your family grow. What year? Maybe you're thinking, is it IT class or philosophy class? It's a two-in-one class. It's still loading. Yes, yeah, it is done now. That's great. Ha, yes, it is done. The next update will be next day. That's okay, fine. We have cover all this. If you go to DHCP DNS things, see DNS up and running, DHCP up and running. You can find all the DHCP scopes here now. See under active 10 network. I didn't create this in this session. Before starting the session, I was preparing this uh, uh, setup a paper a server with all this configuration. If you want to know, see the time is 7:33 p.m. now, March, and the same when I created this. If I come down, listen carefully. What I have teach you, I have to prove, right? This is a proof here. 5:48, which means before starting the session, I have created the scope and configured DNS everything. Understand? Can I create a new scope here? Right click new scope. Yes, you can create. Go to the DNS or DHCP scope. Select the DHCP. Right click. Create a new scope. This is the way of creating. This is what I wanted to show. Actually, this is a big topic. Because of this topic only, I got delay. Because of it's a very big topic, an interesting topic. I need a more time, and I have to have a stable concept, and my computer should be a working condition. It should not get slow or anything. But however, we came to the end stage. This is, I'd say, scope name is 20 network. No, yeah, 20 network. Success network. Success network scope. Description. Sample start IP. Let's go for 10 network, something like this. 10.0.0.100, 10.0.0.200, and just leave all this. It's a list duration. You can make it unlimited, and you have all these options. because this is integrated with the Active Directory. That's why you want any dynamic update of all these records? Yes, and just click apply and say OK. So this how you can create scope by using IPAM. See, if you have a very good configuration, hardware configuration, it may take a fast performance, because my configuration is very low. That's why it is taking this much time, but usually it should perform very well. I just want to make sure the scope which we created using IPAM has created in this server, in server 1. Let's go and log in to make sure whether scope has been created here. Definitely you will see the new scope here. Click on refresh, select IPv4 refresh. You will see one success network scope created. Who created this? IPAM created. Who managed by IPAM? IPAM managed by some company administrator. Where is that company administrator? He is sitting in the India office and sleeping in IT room. Yes, many administrator will do that. And when he created just before. So likewise, all these DSCP, DNS servers can be managed by IPAM. If you find time, go to Microsoft documentation, search for IPAM and read many information about IPAM to learn more. If you have any questions, you can post your questions in the comment section so that I will answer it. That's all guys for today's session. I hope you understood this session very well. And the next upcoming session will be multi-domain Active Directory. Multi-domain concepts. What is multi-domain concepts? Multi-domain concepts is root domain controller, primary domain controller, additional domain controller, child domain controller, tree root domain controller, RODC, read-only domain controller, what is a schema, what is objects, what is NTDS. We are going in depth of Active Directory. Just wait for the next video, next session. I will be there with the next session to meet you. And if you like this session, give a like button and subscribe if you want more thing like this. So that's all. Thank you for watching this video.